this is working,
Yeah,
so that's great.
it's playing.
I don't know, global pandemic.
Oh, there it is.
You got it?
I don't know if anyone is there.
Maybe they have issues with
At least we'll see it afterwards.
Oh, look
I need
pretty.
to fix my lines.
Oh, you guys do look pretty.
Yeah.
I
Take
know,
a
we
lot
look
of
very
selfies.
cozy. Just plop it somewhere. Yeah, that's fine.
That's like fireplace lighting.
Yeah. Why isn't anyone saying anything?
I don't know. We'll see. Chill.
Maybe no one is there.
That's
not even possible. I mean, no one. Like, it's okay if it's like 3 people, but like no. No, maybe I'm just not
Maybe they
doing this right.
What is this?
Yeah,
One person?
yeah,
That's us.
that's not possible. But that's the magic of doing the video as well. Like, even if no one is in the live,
Yeah.
so fucking what? Then we just do
Yeah.
it afterwards.
Oh, Tina looks so good.
Tina looks wild.
On this camera, she looks like glowing.
Tiana will look great on this camera. Timo lights.
Actually, that looks really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like we're in a magical forest.
Yeah.
Avatar forest. Oh, not people.
See? Bad boy. I need some head and sugar.
Okay. Well, I'll take it. It's a comment.
9 people. And their head and sugar.
And they want the sugar, I guess. Or your sugar, I guess, because you're on the videos. They want your sugar, Nina. No one's ever told me that they want my sugar. I should have her on my video all the time.
They look a little bit mental on now.
That was the
That was
point.
the point.
You did your job.
It's also the coloring, but it's
No, it is
yeah, it's very nice.
This scene is like really.
indie
I
horror
have no idea what would come of it, but I think it's super cool.
The whole
The way it
beach
starts
thing,
with them
yeah.
being in the air and then
He
you
did
just
really well.
gather them like a crazy person. Yeah. And this is cool as well. Oh, but I can't put in the. But I can put in the rest of the lights.
Maybe don't press it on the glass because it will be all over the quartz.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I put Tina's phone to record already because this background talk is magical.
Head and sugar.
And this one is live already as well.
Okay, Instagram is live.
Great.
Is the YouTube coming
Yes.
along?
YouTube is live as well.
Can you see us?
Let me check.
Are we on the lines?
Yep.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Hello, everybody. Good evening from the garden. This is Dina Tam, who you just saw dance beautifully and wildly and slightly
Very
insanely
wildly, yes.
in the video.
Not even slightly insanely.
Thank you for
Yeah.
tuning in to the live premiere of the Secret Garden official video. We're sitting in an actual garden, in an actual secret garden, and we have very cute little fairy lights. This is actually Tina's backyard, but we will not tell you the location of it so that you don't come rob our fairy lights or our wine or anything
cheers.
else.
Congratulations,
Cheers!
Petra.
Congratulations! Thank you.
Great song, finally out. Long time coming.
I know. Oh my goodness. Oh, we should drink it in between. Yeah, this has been a long time coming. We were just talking about where this song kind of came from, and I can't even remember when we actually started the whole thing. Like 3, 4
I don't think we
years ago?
remember a lot of things pre-pandemic. Or it
What?
seems
Yeah,
like
because this was before pandemic,
it was,
right?
I think so, yeah. We filmed in 2020, I want to say.
Wow.
A while ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the video was filmed then, but then the story of the song goes actually even further down the road, which I'm going to tell all of our lovely listeners in a little bit. But Tina, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I mean, I think there is like some sort of magic to like do something artistical and then sort of almost forget about it for a second.
Yeah.
And then like sort of jump back onto it like sometime after.
Yeah.
So it brought back so many cool memories from collaborating with you and from like putting it all together and like for like, you know, thinking about the lyrics, like thinking about the meaning, thinking about, you know, putting it all together.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to point out that I looked at the video and I was like, I look so tired. And it's 2020. I did not have excuse to be tired. I had time to sleep all day long.
But also,
So,
it was a freaking global pandemic.
I
I
guess
think
so.
we were all
I
tired.
guess so. So yeah, I'm feeling a little less tired today, hopefully.
Good.
Yeah.
We're in a very refreshing garden as well, so that helps.
Yeah.
A very crispy autumn air. Someone might be watching this from somewhere else. It is properly autumn now. It is getting cold. And we also have our very good friend Valev Lauve here helping us a little bit with the tech in the garden, which has been a bit of an adventure.
It's been an adventure.
And also he will try his best to read some of your comments in order to for us to see if you're comment things and ask us things. This is also meant to be like a very free-form Q&A. So if you have something that you'd like to say about the video or ask about the video, please do, and we will try to keep an eye on it, and Vala will try to keep an eye on it. But we are on 2 or 3 different platforms, so we might not see everything, but we will see it all tomorrow, if not tonight.
Yeah, we'll try our best.
Exactly, we'll try our best. Also, another person that is not physically here today, but is here in spirit. I mean, he's not dead, but he's just not, not here right now, is Alexei Postnikov, who if you have been following my music for a while, you will be very familiar with his vision. Alexei is a long-term collaborator, and he was the one also filming and editing this video. So thank you, Alexei.
Thank you, Alexei.
We love you. We miss you. And
wonderful to work with.
Yes. It was such a fun day.
It was a very fun day. Yeah.
Do you want to tell them a little bit just what we did? It was very freeform.
It was very freeform. I think we had some choreography things that I had in mind, but like pretty much went off with what just inspired us.
Yeah.
We were wandering in Central Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while.
When was it? What month was that?
This was like summertime.
Was it?
Oh, it was. There's cherry
blossoms. Yeah.
Blossoms there. So it would have been like April or maybe something like that.
Not a lot of green leaves. Yeah.
Yeah.
We just took a wild wander and we danced like wherever we felt inspired, really.
Yeah, and it was such a beautiful place. This has become like a thing now, because I feel like I've used this location enough times where people are like, oh yeah, that's where Petra shoots all of her music videos, because it's the botanical, it's a conservatory gardens in Central Park, which is in the very north of Central Park on the east side. And it is such a beautiful place. There's all these different places of greenery. There's a bunch of trees and bushes and flowers and canopies and all kinds of things. And then there's also this completely like wild looking area that's just forest, where we also shot a lot of the scenes where Dina is like, you know, trotting on tree trunks and stuff like that. Going crazy, going wild forest nymph, which is all I ever wanted. But for me, this was a really interesting experience and a very different experience of making a music video, because I got to just sit there and admire. And it was the best, because I was literally just like, I mean, I didn't need to even direct or anything. Like, I just let them go. Alexei has the camera and Dina has the,
and he also
dancing.
had a lot of great ideas. I
Yeah.
feel like that was the beauty of it. Like all three of us kind of like, what's the word? Like added on to like each other's like visions and interpreted in like so many ways.
Yeah.
It was just like really easy, artistically super enjoyable.
Super enjoyable. Yeah. And I remember there were so many moments, and I think I said this to you as well. There were so many moments where I had like a task. Like I was supposed to be doing something. Maybe I was supposed to be, taking care of someone's things or hiding behind the tree so that Alexei could like move around Dina in a way where there's like, I'm not in the picture at any direction. And like get like a 360 view, right? And I'm supposed to be like hiding behind this tree, but I just watched Dina dance, and there's something about the way that she dances, and I know that I've told you this before, there's something about it that to me is just so like, you're so in it that you invite me to be so in it, that I just like sink into your like whatever you're doing, and I forgot that I was supposed to be hiding. And Alexei was over and over again like, Petra, you have one job. Like, could you please hide behind the tree? I'm like, oh, sorry.
Well, that's the sweetest compliment. Thank you so much. But it was also very easy to like sort of get lost into your world and the music and the thing, and like I think that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
When you like artistically really tune into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really lovely. Which kind of is a perfect segue to the origin story of this song, because that actually also includes Dina in a way. So back in the day,
I had forgotten about until now.
That's the beauty of it. This has been such a huge turning point thing for me. And then we were talking about it, and I was like, "Remember, that's how it went." She's like, "Oh yeah." So
I'm like, everything makes so much sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this was years ago. I want to say 5-6 years ago, even, because this was well before we shot the video that I had written the song. So this would have been a long time ago. Dina and I had wine, as we do. And we were sitting and just chatting. Some things never change. And she was telling me, well, maybe you tell this part of the story.
Okay, yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, because clearly you remember more.
You tell your version of it.
I think we were talking about life, and I was telling you about like this interesting therapy session I had with my therapist, who was a fan of art therapy. And we were talking about life situations, and she would tell me to like, why don't you just try to draw them?
It was such an interesting thing, first of all, to
draw.
And
I had heard about it, but I had never like tuned into like art therapy in that form. And I was like, okay, like sort of how I just start creating like dance or something. Like, you don't think, you just
out of nothing.
Out of nothing you do. And I just sort of came up with this picture of like, let's call it a garden, like a garden, which had like all these like cool plants and like flowers and everything, but a lot of them were just like either very like thorny or poisoned, or they would just like it, like almost like there's like a I don't want to say a parasite, but like something's off.
Yeah.
They wanna like poke you, or they're like wanna, or they just rot, or they just like have like something on them.
Yeah.
And it was like a really, really interesting starting point for, the therapeutic discussions from it. But I think I told you about the picture.
Yeah,
just
you
about
did.
The process of making it.
And what I saw when you were explaining this, in my mind's eye, I immediately saw this, maybe a slightly, how could I put it? Maybe a slightly more like exotic picture than maybe what you had pictured. I don't know. We can't see into each other's minds. We try, but sometimes we manage and sometimes not. But what I saw immediately was this garden of these like exquisite, beautiful, like exotic looking, like just gorgeous, alluring flowers. And then once you look closer, each one of them, just like you said, like something's off. There's something dark. There's something sinister. There's something looming. There's something out to get you. And to me, immediately when you were talking about that, I was like, yeah, that's relationships for me. And I don't just mean dating or like just relationships in general. Everybody, a new person that you meet, especially in a city like New York, always seems like the most interesting, glamorous, amazing, and then everybody has stuff. And I think at that point in my life, I was in a place where I had found out brutally
that everybody has stuff. And so I immediately mirrored that to myself, thinking, oh shit, like this garden is actually like a perfect metaphor for like loneliness and like, yeah, I don't know, it's just anyway. But what's crazy about it, so actually the origin story has like 3 parts, and bear with me, whoever's still with us, bear with me, it's 3 very short parts, okay? The first part was Dina showing me, explaining to me this amazing art therapy session with this garden thing that and it was such a strong, lush imagery. Another part is like fast forward like a year or something. I'm in Finland. My little sister is taking me to a community garden in Helsinki. And she takes this picture of me with these amazing wild plants and with the sun setting behind me. So that it's like my silhouette. And I'm wearing this like weird puffy dress. So in the picture, from the silhouette, I look like a garden fairy. Or like a little like, garden gnome or something. And the picture was so cool that I wanted to post it on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And when I was posting it, I was like, I have to come up with a really cool caption for this. And the caption that I came up with was the lyrics to this song. Like literally on the spot. Wow. I was like, just like writing, and I was like, oh, it's a cute little poem. Like I'll just write it. It was like half of the lyrics. And then I was like inspired by it. So I was like, oh, there's like a story here. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sounds like what Dina described to me. Like, what is going on? And then I had to like continue into another post. So like, if you go back like 7 years in my Instagram, you'll find this post somewhere.
I want to look now.
I know, right? And then the third part of it, and this was again, fast forward. My friend Keith, hi Keith, you're in China now, but maybe you're watching. We both know Keith from when he lived in New York. Exactly. And Keith actually gifted me this very cool instrument called a kalimba. I know nothing of instruments, and I know nothing of kalimbas. I know something of some instruments, but nothing of kalimbas. Wait, Valev, are you telling me something important? No. Okay, no. He made a sound.
Just your Instagram.
Okay. And I know nothing of this instrument, but the first thing that I played with it was this.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hopefully you can. But it's literally the theme of what you hear the piano play in the beginning of... No, what you hear the xylophone play in the beginning of Secret Garden. And when I played that, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of spooky and kind of cute and kind of like a lullaby-esque thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I should put lyrics into this. Oh, wait, I have that Instagram post from like a year ago. Like this whole story of this song has been so random. And just like little tidbits throughout the years, and coming together, and finally we're putting it out now. It has the visual part of it. It has amazing visuals taken by my very good friend Victor Vigerbo. Thank you, Victor, for the amazing photos. I look very gardening-y in them, and I appreciate that. And so there's the visuals, there's the music, and now there's the video, and I'm like, it's a wrap, people.
It's a wrap.
Thank you, finally.
The story is alive.
The story is alive.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're sort of doing something artistically, you have so much faith into something that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
And you give it like some sort of a physical shape, and that's the beauty of it, right? Like
that's
you don't have an exact, like, mostly you don't have like an exact one-on-one that you go off.
Exactly.
You just start creating it.
You just start doing something.
Happens. Yeah.
And that's the magic of collaboration for me.
That too.
And that's why I think these projects and other things that we've done together have been so great, because it's like, even if you're not always able to exactly explain what's in your mind yet, you're kind of able to hand it off to the next person and then see what they make of it. And it's just so magical to me. And it's so funny that you actually said that, the thing about creating something out of nothing, because literally earlier today, I got some creative news that were a little bit of a disappointment, and I was a little bit like I'm going nowhere, nothing new, we get into these spirals.
Yes.
And the mantra that I've started telling myself in those moments is, Petra, you created something out of nothing. That matters.
Multiple times.
That matters.
Yes.
It might not be exactly what you wanted it to be. It might not be perfect. It might not be, it might not win an Oscar, but you created something where there was nothing.
Yeah.
And that is important.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And not everybody ends up doing that. And that has been kind of like that's something I can hold on to.
Yeah.
That regardless of what the reception is, or regardless of, what happens to it after, like it
Yeah.
has been created where there was nothing before.
Yeah. Yeah,
And that's what you do as well.
matters. Like, you know, even if it speaks to one person,
Yeah, exactly.
may it really speak to them.
Exactly. Before we sign off, Dina, I would love for you to tell people a little bit about you as a dancer, as a choreographer. Like, I want everyone to hire you for all the projects now. So, like, just tell us a little bit about like what kind of things you do. And you've been here for a while in New York.
I've been here for a while. Yeah, I moved here in 2012. But,
Yeah, Dina is from Estonia.
I am from Estonia, so we
right
are
next to
very
Finland.
neighbors in on and off screen, on and off US, on and off Brooklyn.
Yes.
I moved here in 2012 to pursue dance in its various forms. And it was like a great, challenging, but like a really great journey. And then since we had the magical 2020 in between that I feel like if you were lucky, it was sort of like a cocoon phase for the artist, because there were so many new projects and new there was time to sort of sit with your artistic calling and just explore directions. And I added some circusy arts to my performer portfolio. So
very cool.
It's been a cool journey. So now I've been doing some still walking, still dancing, and I dance on roller skates, and I spin fire. Ooh, I dance in the air.
Yeah.
So
you dance in weird places. Air, rollers, by saunas, by lakes sometimes.
With saunas. I've been trying to incorporate elements from Estonian culture into my creations, or directed a show based on a lot of Estonian folk cultural traditions. So it's like a blessing and a curse that you're excited about so many things.
Oh, hell yes.
Because
I know that all too
24 hours
well.
is a very short time.
It's a very short time.
Yeah.
No, I know that. How do you know what to say no to? When you are someone who gets so excited about so many things, like,
well,
what do you turn down?
I think that's the problem. But in general, I think one skill that I've always stuck with is I'm touching the microphone. I just go with my gut.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. It's also not as black and white always, but I feel like it's one thing that I always take pride in, because I feel like I'm able to if something feels really exciting, although it doesn't make sense on the paper, I'll go for it.
Yeah.
If something feels off for whatever reason,
like
somehow,
the plants in the garden.
I feel like the plants in the garden. When I start making excuses for things, why not to do them? Then I'm like, okay, it's a no. If I'm this seems impossible, but let me think what ways I can make it happen. And
that is such a good advice.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh my God, that's gonna transform how I look at things. If you start making excuses for why you can't do something, then you probably don't want to do it.
Yeah, well, it's just the same. But what did they say? Or I don't know. Maybe I made it up. I didn't make it up. I saw it somewhere years ago. If you want it, you'll find a way. If you don't want it as bad, you'll find an excuse. So it's very black and white version of it, but I just try to reflect on my thought process, and I'm like, how do my thoughts look like? Am I focusing? Am I thinking about things that sound more like excuses, or am I thinking of but I could do it this way, X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
And make it happen, so.
And that's so close to what I've been trying to learn, and it's a long road for me, but what I've been trying to learn is really paying close attention to the reaction in my body to things.
Yes.
There's such a there's this term a whole body yes.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing. Sometimes even just small things, someone suggesting a restaurant, or it doesn't always have to be a life-changing thing. It can be anything, and you're just okay, how do I feel about this in my knee-jerk reaction before the brains kick in?
Right.
And it's so hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's a very real thing. Once you start tuning into more and more, it becomes a little louder. It's still hard sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're still should I have done this instead? But for the most part, your body knows, your mind knows.
Yeah. And lucky for us, we are in a field where creativity is boundless.
Right.
So whenever there are situations where like, oh, I should have done that, it's like, well, let's recreate it. Let's make a different version. It's not like it's once and done. Like in 10 years we might come back and make another Secret Garden music video.
Second
Who
part.
knows?
Behind the gates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like behind the gate.
Behind the gates.
It has a
See?
title already.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
Yeah.
Before we go, Valev, did you find any comments or questions that we should be paying attention to?
Do you see any there?
No.
Okay.
We are okay.
Then we're good.
So
I don't
then we'll
see.
reply to everything tomorrow if there is such things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Dina. Thank you for joining
Thank you for
me.
having me.
Thank you for
Congrats.
you are having
Thank
me
you.
in your lovely garden. So thank you for
You
that.
had me in your musical garden.
I
So
did,
that's
and I
nice.
will
Thank
keep you
too.
there. I will keep you
Aw.
there. Okay, Valev, thank you so much for setting up things. Thank you, Alexei, for making this beautiful
Yes,
video
thank
with
you,
us.
Alexei.
And thank you, Scott and Katie, for playing beautiful instruments on the song. And who
Yes.
else? Thank you, Victor, for the
Everyone-
photos again. And
and
thank you
everyone-
all of
everyone
you
for
who are
tuning
here.
in.
Yes. And even if
Yes.
you watch this tomorrow or next week or whenever, please go watch the video and comment and share and do all the things. We would
We'll
love
respond.
for you to. We'll respond. We promise at some point we
Yeah.
will respond. And we would love for you to just spend some more time in our imaginary secret garden with us because it's tough out there in the world and it's nice to have a little place to escape to.
Yeah. Escape to your secret garden.
Exactly.
Maybe in your
We'll,
mind.
we'll see. Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see you there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Cheers.
Now we can drink.
Now we can drink.